All right, is it rolling? Okay. Hey y'all, it's me, the Beauty ED. As y'all know and love, I do free classes on YouTube and in person, and I teach how to wax, lash, brows, etc. I want you to comment down below what other free classes would you like to see and what would you like to learn. So since Halloween is coming around the corner, it's spooky season, I'm going to be sharing with y'all some spooky clients. So I have 5 stories for y'all. Number 1, the client who tried to run out. Number 2, discount lady. Number 3, 3 no-shows. Number 4, 3 hours late. And number 5, not wanting to pay. So if you don't already follow me on my social medias, on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Facebook, I'll be having those all in the link below in the description. And make sure you subscribe so you can support a young entrepreneur like myself. I'm 17 years old, and soon you guys will see me vlog for the Miami Expo, October 20th. See y'all soon. First story, the try to run out client. So this was a client who was, I believe, around 15 years old. I was lashing in my grandfather's living room. Yes, I know, but when you're a beginner, you do what you gotta do. I'm sorry, y'all. So I was lashing in my grandfather's living room, and then she came in. She was really sweet, but she was like a little bit like gloomy a little bit, like towards the end, whatever. So I was doing her lashes, and she came in to do her lashes. I did her lashes. She had like a light volume set, and then she had a cat eye. So I did that for her, and then when it was time for her to pay, she was like, okay, thank you so much, I love them. So, you know, as a beginner, like when you ask for your clients to pay, or I don't know if it like happens to every service provider, but when you have to ask your clients to pay, you feel like weird. So I felt that way, so I didn't ask her to pay. I was just cleaning my stuff and then her to pay. As she's doing that, she tries to open the door, and the door handle like this. Mind you, my grandfather's door, you had to open it like that. Like, until we changed the doorknob, but you have to open it like that, like up. So she was trying her hardest, like with the doorknob. That shit was so funny. That was so funny. And whatever, and then we did that, and then I was looking at her, and I was like, I started laughing. I looked at this girl dead in the face. I said, what, girl, what are you doing? Like, what is the reason? And then she's like, oh, so how much is the service? And I think at that point I was charging like $40, $50, like around there. And I was like, well, it's gonna be this and this. And she's like, well, I don't have that on me. And I'm like, well, we're either gonna have to call your mom or contact the police because I'm gonna get paid. And that's exactly what I did. So she called her mom. Her mom came, and she's like, oh, I thought this was a model set. And I'm like, no, ma'am, here, the messages. I showed the mom the messages. I showed her that, you know, she needed to do this, do that. At that point, I wasn't charging deposits because I was believing in the faith of people. But absolutely not. People have definitely ruined those chances for other people. So that happened. The mom ended up paying me, and she left. So horror story number 1. Horror story number 2. Discount lady. Oh my god, I fired her. I think that's my first client that I fired, because every single time she would just try to like get a different service, but she wouldn't like something every single time. And it was, oh, my finger's crooked, can you file it that way? I would do it. No, you overfiled, this and that. And then if I did her facial, when I did her facial, she was like, oh, well, I see it's glowing, but it feels a little oily. And I'm like, okay. So I try to fix it, and she's like, well, because of the experience, gave me a discount. Every single time was a discount. So then this was one of her nail appointments, and I was doing a fill. And then as I do her fill, she's sitting there like, oh, well, I wanted to do this, but can we just change the design? So she changed the design last minute. We did that, thank God. And then once we were done, she's like, well, I don't really like this idea. I don't know if you could change it or just discount it. And I said, no, I'm done to giving you discounts. I'm not gonna give you another discount. That's insane. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what the problem is. Like, you never like my work, but you keep on coming back. And she's like, yeah, because I have faith that you'll change and whatever, and I want to support you. I'm like, yeah, but if you want to support me, you can't keep asking me for discounts. That's a loss on my business. And then she ended up having an attitude with me. She was like, oh, how dare you? I'm a loyal customer. I always pay you. Da da da. I'm like, yeah, but you don't pay me the full amount. You just pay me what you want to pay me. Because mind you guys, at this point, like I was like a complete beginner in Jacksonville. So that's even worse, especially in the city of Jacksonville. But and then I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna do this, so I'm gonna discount you for today, and this will never happen again. Okay, whatever, cool. I'm never coming back. So I message her and I'm like, listen, I'm done servicing you. I hope you have a good one and have a good rest of your night. Whatever, blah blah blah. She texts me back, oh, whatever, your business is trash, whatever, da da da. And I just blocked her. I have no time for that. And yeah, so that made me like want to get licensed too, because she even threatened to call state board. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna just go get my license so I could prevent stuff like this. So I went and got my license here, and I am now licensed in the state of Florida. So yeah. Horror story number 3. Horror story number 3. 3 no-shows. So I had this lady, right? And she, the first time, didn't show up because supposedly her baby was sick or whatever. And I was like, okay, I understand babies, you know. Go ahead, deal with what you have to deal with. So that was her first excuse. So I was like, okay, just let me know ahead of time. She was like, yeah, I know, I have to take the baby to the hospital. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, go ahead. The second time, she was like, hey, on the way there, I got into a car accident, this and that. She showed me pictures, but now that I'm looking back at it, I feel like they're from the internet. Like, they're not hers, because like her car and that car wasn't the same. But I just didn't want to, you know, because who knows, maybe she was borrowing a car. I don't know the situation. So I was like, okay, don't worry, love, we can reschedule. The third time, she goes, hey, can we go ahead and reschedule for a later time? And I was like, yeah, because like she was my only client for the day. And I was like, yeah, sure, you can. And she just kept rescheduling the time until the third time. I'm like, okay, stop. Damn, so many 3s. But I'm like, okay, stop. Like, I'm sorry, but either you have to pick a time or just not show up at all. So she picks a time. She does not show up. She doesn't even tell me anything. So I message her, hey, is everything okay? Cool. Next morning, she texted me like, oh, girl, I'm so sorry, da-da-da. And I blocked her. I blocked her, as I should, because you just play with my time, my money, everything. So if you're watching this, girl, I hope that you're not getting serviced by someone who has more patience than me. Horror story number 4. So these are my friends. It's not really that bad, but long story short, it was a lot of miscommunication. So I was gonna do 2 girls in one day, but one girl was like, no, I don't think I could go, and then the other girl like was getting her hair braided, so she was running late. And then she went to pick up the other girl, and then they both came, and I didn't know until like she told me, oh, I'm gonna go pick her up, and I was like, what? But anyways, yeah. So I started doing the application. I had a client like at 5, I believe. I had a client at 5. I had a Brazilian wax at 5, and then like I had them both, and like they were already like 3 hours late. So it was I had to do like their application and stuff, and like their nail designs in like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it was 2 people. I couldn't do that. I'm not gonna lie. I tried my best. I really did, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna do her in 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'm gonna do her in like an hour. So I thought that was my original plan, but it just didn't work out. So yeah, so I told them to come back another day. They came back the next day. We did their set. They loved it, and yeah, it was just a hard story because I fell behind on schedule. But the girl came, and I had to heat up the wax, and oh my god. But I love them. They love me. We're all good, and yeah. Horror story number 5. Not wanting to pay. Oh my god. So I had this lady coming from Facebook, and I love Facebook. I have a love and hate relationship with Facebook because either they bring me really not cheap clients, but well, they bring me clients that I don't know how to say this nicely. Hold on, I'm trying to find a way. They either bring me good revenue clients or clients that are really picky and just want everything discounted or cheap. And one of these clients was like, hey, yeah, I want to do this freestyle. It's a $50 freestyle, whatever. So I put on my page, I do not work over others because I've had to do with MMA, and I'm not dealing with that. I don't want to deal with it. And people don't want to pay you the price of removing. So I was like, I want to take a step back because people don't want to pay the price. I'm like, okay, so then don't pay the price. Go to the nail shop, give them the hard time, and come back. So that happened, and then she came in with her toes with gel, and mind you, it was a $50 nails and toes freestyle set, and I was like, I don't want to be removing anything. So I'm like, hey, your toes are done. And she's like, oh yeah, well, I'm like, I'm not really, I'm like, I really want to remove it. I mean, I'll remove it, but it'll cost extra. She's like, no, you can just do my hands. Okay, cool. So I do that, I do her hands, and then I do this girl's length and everything, and I show her the picture of what I want to do. I even changed my design because she said she's very classy, so I just ended up doing a very simple design. And then I showed her the length, and I asked her 2 times, is this okay? Is this okay? She said, yes, it's okay. And then basically she just, like, at the end, she was like, oh, I didn't like this. I didn't like this. I didn't like the length. I didn't like how this was shaped. I didn't like, and I was like, girl, what? Like, you sat here talking to me, hee ha ha, for like 2 hours, and like, you're sitting here like, oh, like, because mind you, the reason we sat there for 2 hours was because she made me file it down and drill it down and make them shorter. And I was like, well, she didn't make me, but basically she was like, hey, since I paid full price, can you like shorten my nails? And I was like, sure. And then she messaged me rudely talking about some, because she had left. Okay, she paid me and left, and then she's like, hey, can you fix this since like, fix what? It was already pretty. Like, I was looking at her like, girl, and then I was like, fix what? And then, look, I didn't say that, okay? I was in my, like, and then she's like, since I paid full price, can you just make them shorter? And I was like, sure. And then she really messaged me back, like, oh, well, I'm not gonna make you do anything. I'm just asking you. And I'm like, I'm outside. Like, I was literally, like, on my phone, like, crickets. I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm saying, sure. Like, sure. That's just my figure of speech. It was never that serious, love. And yeah, I just ended up doing it. And then she ended up, I told her that she might have to get checked up because she had like because in the nail shop, they use a lot of MMA. And her like nail beds were lifting. So I told her to go check that out once she gets her nails removed. And I blocked her because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with clients like that. If you're really picky, don't pick me. Don't pick me, y'all. Like, I understand if you want like your stuff to be perfect. I get that. I want my stuff to be perfect too. But you have to realize that just because something looks like something in the picture doesn't mean it's going to be exactly that. I'll do the best to my abilities. But at the end of the day, I'm a human being, okay? I'm not a robot. I can't just go ahead and just copy and paste like a computer. I'll do exactly my best. And I will always give you 110% my best. And if you don't like it, I'll gladly help you. But yeah, I can't do that. Like, and you have to realize that in this profession, it's very draining because y'all complain about the price. Not all of y'all. I'm just saying, in general, there's a category of people that complain about the price, complain about the service, and the service is good. Complain about everything. Like, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. What about the things I do? What about that? What about the things I do? So, you know, just try to be mindful, guys. I mean, I understand, like, you're paying for a service, but we're humans as well. Like, you're not going to treat your cashier like shit because, you're not going to treat your cashier wrong just because, you know, they got, like, your dollars and cents wrong. You just be like, hey, can you just fix this? You're like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, you know. But no, with us, like, we can't have any errors. And that's just how, like, a lot of people in the beauty industry feel. Like, oh, you can't have any errors. And that's, like, the worst thing possible because, like, you know, like, we're still human. Yeah, ladies, just, you know, be mindful. These are my 5 horror stories, client horror stories. Not too bad. I have lovely clients that I love. Denise, if you're watching this, I love you. Amori, if you're watching this, I love you too. And all of my other clients, I love each and every single one of y'all individually. I hope y'all know that. And thank you so much for supporting my business. I want you guys to know that from the bottom of my heart. And everybody that wants to support my business and, you know, come shop. I sell cuticle oils, press-ons, and stuff like that. So come on and shop with me. Support a 17-year-old entrepreneur. I make everything at home, custom made. And I make it to the T of perfection, as well as do I try my best to have a great customer service, and I do my best to provide a great service here in the city of Jacksonville, and I also travel to your home. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching my video. I love you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and support my page for the free. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Bye. Shorty out.